Hello. So in the new update, you may have gotten the Desert Fighter. You can see the stats here. So, first thing, how'd you get this? Uh, Pretty simple. That would be from an exploiter. There was a script to get this posted by the main dev in the Discord, and if you run that through a script executor, it gives everyone in your server the weapon. Is it good? No, not really. People seem to like it, but I don't know why. It's not that great. It's kind of like machine gun, I guess. Um, like machine gun is okay, but why? Uh, like these stats. That's not a ton of damage. I mean, it could be worse, but it's not exactly a super infinite ammo gun either. So, yeah, it's just kind of a mediocre gun that has an interesting way of getting it. Why was it exploiting? No idea. I personally don't make the guns or the ways to obtain them. Is it good with anything? There's better alternatives. So no, not really. It doesn't even really have anything that it like has a mediocre combo with, because it's just mediocre. Obviously, exploiter is going to be too expensive to be useful. Uh, Spammer doesn't have enough range to be useful, and you could use different guns. Killstealer is good with like every single fast firing gun, so I guess that's okay. Um, it's kind of fun, I guess. Doesn't look terrible. Um, yeah, I don't really have a lot more to say because it's just that uninteresting. But whatever. Um, the other guns this update, most of them are pretty cool. Definitely would recommend buying at least Veteran. That was an interesting gun. If you've noticed my gadget bar, I, yeah, you can just equip the same gadget twice. That's been a bug for during testing. Zeke just said that it didn't matter, I guess, so it hasn't been touched. Uh, I'm pretty sure that pay to win with Desert Fighter is just pay to win with CLC, but with worse damage. Um, Also, pay to win has its skill levels back, so that's fun. You can now uh, use firework launcher in pay to win and put on group targeting, so that's neat. Uh, Loving that. Although I haven't done very much with this update because there's not a lot to do other than like the things that I did in testing, but um one of the guns is like a not level 95 ATP antique pistol, and well, obviously that's gonna be a worse variant of antique, but it is quite nice for people who don't want to grind till level 95. um Personally, I'm a little bit over level 95, though, so I don't particularly care. I'd rather just use ATP. Um, Secret Forces rifle is fun, although reload fire rate was added to it, so yay. It's still okay. with like exploiter and stuff. Just slows it down a bit. If you're wondering what reload fire rate does, I don't think I've explained it very well. Basically, it has 2 fire rate checks, and both of them have to be finished for it to shoot. The normal fire rate would be affected by the fire rate stat. However, the reload fire rate stat is affected by reload time, not fire rate. So upgrading fire rate will still be helpful. However, upgrading reload time will also be helpful. That's pretty much all there is this update. I think Bow and Brutal Headhunter got buffed camo wise, so now you can like play Ghostified and not immediately die when you have Brutal instead of like Proto S or something. So that's a bit more fun. Although you're probably going to be using Proto S if you're playing Ghostified Imp. But if you're not playing Imp, but you are playing Ghostified, that should be fun. And then Bow is a much better anti-camo than it being useless like it was previously. Since you didn't have a camo decrease, but there's no reason to use it at all. It didn't have a camo increase, but now it has a camo increase. And then Golden Friend is plus 2 camo. So yeah, you don't need to do too much with that. Health got changed. Now you get extra HP the longer the round goes on. So that's the thing that's now overlapping with my percentage because I added health through the sandbox UI. But like it gives you a decent amount of HP, so you might actually be able to survive an enemy that leaks. Although you'll probably still die if you're not doing enough damage. Like you could get maybe one and dead to leak, I guess. Anyways, Secret Forces rifle does more damage to defense, although I believe its description says it does less. I think it's supposed to do less to non-defense enemies. So it does a lot of damage to things with defense, but if they don't have defense, it sucks. Sort of, I think. I'm not completely sure. It kind of is weird. Still an interesting weapon. Like, it's basically a better CLC if the enemy has defense. Just gonna look through here real quick so I can make sure that I'm saying the right thing. I'm leaving it in here. If I did it wrong, that'd be dumb. But I don't care. Yeah, okay. The less damage against defenseless enemies. 2.5 times less. And then it also got reload fire rate later, so that was not fun. But it has a shorter reload time, so yeah, cool gun. But this is like Desert Fighter here is the only thing of interest really. The other guns are interesting gameplay wise, but Desert Fighter is the only thing with an interesting way of achieving it or like a high cost or anything. Unlike ATP and Proto S last update. And then like new mechanics with Heroes last update too. But yeah, have a good day and like and subscribe and stuff.